Chapter 17. The Journey to Earth.
"Why did it have to be Earth?" cried Dementia. "Any other place but Earth?"
There was no choice, though. The clock was ticking, and time was their enemy. Dementia summoned Old Faithful.
"Forces of good, be kind to us. Take us to Earth without a fuss. Take us to where the peppermint plant grows. Preferably a spot that few earthlings know."
"Where have they disappeared to now?"
shouted Skellum, as Dementia and Willowwood appeared to vaporize before her very eyes again. She angrily rubbed her bloodshot corneas. They were being kept permanently open by a complicated series of fish hooks and wires. The blood drained from Alex McKenzie's face as Dementia and Willowwood entered the cave that he had only just entered himself. He tried to scream, but no words would come out of his mouth. He tried to run, but his legs would not move. Dementia calmly removed an object that looked like a syringe from one of his large wizard pockets. He pressed a button, and a fairly large needle suddenly emerged. He poked the needle directly into the petrified Earth Kid's neck, directly in line with his vocal cords. Alex McKenzie felt the sharp prick as the needle went in. He saw his life flash before his eyes as he lost consciousness.
"Don't be scared,"
smiled Dementia compassionately, as Alex started to regain consciousness.
"We come in peace. We're not here to harm you."
You speak English?" exclaimed Alex. "You just jabbed me in the neck with that horrible-looking syringe. Why should I believe you? And what brings you to Tiddly Creek anyway? All we do is farm sheep and sell their wool."
"We do also make a few pairs of woolen socks and beanies and a handful of jumpers, but this is just for loose change. I assume you're not here to purchase clothing anyway."
"If you're here to abduct Earthlings, there are much better specimens available than me. I haven't even visited Sydney, so what do I know? And I'm allergic to just about everything. I don't think alien climates will suit me. And I'm a real coward when it comes to pain. If you prod me or slice me open, I'll cry for days, and my mum says my cry is really annoying. My body's also in very bad shape. I live on junk food. I had a chocolate donut about 10 minutes ago, and—"
"Enough, please," smiled Dementia. "We're not here to abduct you. And the pain you felt was the translator chip entering your vocal cords. This chip translates every known language into a code that allows our brains to understand one another and speak one another's languages without conscious effort."
"Every language?" exclaimed Alex. "Even French?"
He hated French classes at school, and so this device would be very helpful.
"Every language. Even Australian, mate," smiled Dementia. "It was Rovo Popsicon and his loyal team who invented the translator chip. It took them over 100 years to visit every known planet and record their distinct languages. I am told that his 200,000-page autobiography is quite a read, if you have 3 years' worth of reading time to spare. He revolutionized intergalactic relations. Once creatures with different languages could understand one another clearly, interplanetary and interdimensional misunderstandings were almost completely removed. This has reduced the number of galactic disputes significantly. Anyway, once all the languages were captured in their specifically designed machine, it matched up every word with the same meaning. As you speak, it picks up the sound vibrations and encodes them into the language of its host."
Although Alex found this all very fascinating, he was more excited by the fact that he was not in danger of being abducted or used to create some sort of delicious alien earth meat sandwich. Alex, Dementia, and Willowwood all had the same burning thought. What had brought the other to this cave? Alex's explanation for being here was very bland when compared with the story that Dementia and Willowwood told. Alex was simply visiting this cave because, as you may recall, he had accidentally discovered it the day before and was now wanting to see what was inside. It was pure fluke, or fate, depending on which way you look at it, that his arrival had happened to coincide almost precisely with the arrival of Dementia and Willowwood. As Alex helped them fill bag after bag with peppermint leaves, Dementia and Willowwood both vividly described many of the wonderful and not so wonderful creatures that existed beyond the realms of Earth. They also described many of the different lands that both had explored. They told the entire story of the events that had unfolded to date. Alex's mind was awash with images. The characters and places danced around in his head and formed a completely new world for him. A world of excitement, mystique, danger and fantasy. His mind painted the following picture. Young, mischievous sugar fairies looping and hooping through the air, gorging on candy cane-shaped sugar fruits, pelting unsuspecting soul wizards down below with merkleberries, chasing their enormous wobbit pets and tickling them under their tummies, grooming their wings, scrubbing merkleberry juice from their skin, gossiping to the shrewd trees, trying to spot the well-camouflaged families of drudger worms. Older sugar fairy mums cutting rising flowers at their stems, snatching at the upwards floating flower heads, crushing these flower heads to create delicious rising flower bread, flying to the top of their high kitchen ceilings to retrieve the newly cooked loaves, embroidering colourful sequins onto pink and purple sugar fairy leotards, dusting their warple wood houses, polishing their Zophobian crystal houses, older soul wizard husbands soaking doorstopper-sized pieces of delicious rising flower bread into rich guffy egg yolk, collecting bend rubber pods, fleecing wobbits of their fur, recreating their bend rubber forms, testing out their latest shrewd wood wands, young soul wizards hiding behind warple wood houses and sugar fruit trees and ambushing unsuspecting sugar fairies with a barrage of merkleberries, testing their magic by turning large rocks to sand and the snow-white fur of wobbits into a variety of colours, creating frightening bend rubber forms to scare young sugar fairies, a quirky sugar fairy named Magica applying thick black guffy egg yolk mixed with merkleberry juice makeup, the lopsided, stacked pretzel-shaped house that she lived in, her superstitious mum, her adoring dad, her mischievous older sisters, her pet wobbit, Flopsy, laughing loudly and crying fountains, her bitch session with the shrewd trees, her victory over the snobby Wandina, her sudden weight gain, her sad exodus from flush fleas, her Doolan dragon friend Frother, his powder blue mohawk hair and steaming nostrils, his loyalty and bravery, her gluten spider friend Harry, his Halloween pumpkin shape, his guts behaviour and drama queen antics, the little balls of fluff called coolaboos, a brave one called Fluffle, the blue-scaled, broad bean-shaped creatures called Lentinas, an injured one called Hildegard, cowardly bullying creatures that resembled Bigfoot called Ryboltians, a Ryboltian called Sked, who detested his kind and dared to stand up and be counted, upside-down golfy bobs, vendetta-bent carbonaras, Burleyan dragon slayers who rode on female Modestar unicorns who were also excellent ironsmiths, the land of the lonely and its friendlies and unfriendlies, the new orphanage and its 70-odd orphans, the deceased egotistical genius, Neuro, his enormous head and skeletally thin body, the still very alive evil soul wizard named Trezon, memorial diamonds and glowing souls, Spellard. These images would probably not have been nearly as vivid and real for Alex, were it not for the fact that he was currently in the company of a glossy white, bald, rubber-skinned, supreme soul wizard, who was dressed in a robe and brandishing a wand, and a luminous, green-haired, blowfish-faced Elkwoodian boy who was wearing a large gold medallion with an embossed image of a fully functioning heart that actually pulsated like a real heart. Their appearance had immediately caused Alex's imaginative juices to start flowing. Within the space of 20 minutes, the three of them had managed to fill more than 20 bags to the brim and had harvested over 1,000 peppermint leaves. Dementia and Willowwood had also managed to give Alex an excellent glimpse into an exciting world that existed well beyond the boundaries of Tiddly Creek. Dementia was now satisfied that they had more than enough of these peppermint leaves, and the two of them bid Alex farewell. Alex begged to come along for the ride, but Dementia remained resolute. Whilst Trezon was still alive, it was too dangerous a place to bring a naive young earthling to. Chaos was likely to unfold any minute. Trazon would still be seething over Neuro's defeat and busily plotting his revenge. Dementia did promise, however, to return once Trazon had been destroyed and take Alex on a short tour of the galaxy, provided Alex swore to keep their discovery secret. Alex gave his word. Who was he going to tell anyway? Who would possibly believe him if he did tell? Alex gave his solemn word and advised that he would visit the cave every Friday at 2 p.m. until such time as they came. Friday afternoons after 2 p.m. suited him best because school finished early on Fridays. He pointed out that they would need to have him back home by 5 p.m. at the latest, so that he was not late for dinner. Dementia did not seem to think that this would be any major problem. Alex also promised to take them on a tour of Earth at some stage. Dementia did not want to hurt the enthusiastic young Earthling's feelings, and simply suggested that all of this could be discussed the next time they met. As Alex lay in bed that night, he could not stop thinking about his encounter today. His world had suddenly expanded. There were other creatures out there, and other planets, and other dimensions. Tiddly Creek was already a small place. It now seemed even smaller. He drifted into a deep sleep and had a rather strange dream. In it, he was a tiny goldfish in one of those salad bowl-sized fish tanks. He was swimming around quite peacefully when the bowl was suddenly picked up and tipped into an enormous aquarium. As he went splashing in head first, he was greeted by a variety of fish and other sea creatures. Some looked friendly, and others looked decidedly menacing. He was filled with both excitement and fear.